Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was. Kaguya forgotten his son and saved by Kame. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Godlike Naruto Was Sent to the 7 Deadliest in Universe. And enjoy that guys. Oh, and I also post a brand new series of What If Naruto was the most wanted pirate in the One Piece universe, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new, go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become a part of all the channels. Yes, that's right, I indeed have 4 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, and Making 3, and Anime Prince, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy, so go ahead, check them out and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, Yasaka sat down with Jiraiya as he taught her about Fuinjutsu, as there was many aspects that she needed to learn, as he promised that he would train her something impressive once he came back, and he was also going to teach her the Rasengan as well, his payment for her being a perv. While that was going on, Naruto came across Sasuke and his team. Sasuke was so focused on his own thing, he did not even notice that his own sister was a part of Naruto's team, which was Team 7. He challenged Naruto as he wanted to beat a member of this team. Yamato sensei told him that this team was strong, so he wanted to see for himself. As Naruto told him to hit him, which he proceeded to do. Everyone was shocked though, as he did not even move. Not even in the slightest. Sasuke couldn't believe what he was seeing. How was this even possible? As Naruto merely shrugged it off and told him that he was not strong enough. Sasuke was beyond furious at that point, to see that he hit someone that did not even move an inch. Well, it was surely rattling at him, really badly. As Naruto arrived to where the girls were, as he informed Sasuke's sister about what happened. She hoped that Naruto did not hurt her brother as she was trying to save him despite how the way he was acting. However, Naruto told her that he did not. As he explained what happened, that is when Kakashi came with a mission. However, they were going to have a few different people to join them on this mission. There was a village that has its members going missing. Something was going on there, as the remaining ones say that they saw ghosts and ghouls there. Anko and Guy's team joined them on this mission. Naruto did not get along that well with Neji, however, for this mission, they decided to work together until the mission was over. So with that, the teams moved out. It didn't take them that long as they arrived towards the village. They decided to split up, which they did, checking out different parts of the village. As for Yasaka and her group, she and Hinata felt like they wanted to puke. Even Guy told them to come out of the room as they came up on a room where there was body parts and organs lying all over. Someone had violently experimented on people in the most gruesome way. Guy did not believe that this was Orochimaru. The man usually destroy any remains of him ever being there, but this person, they seemed to not care about the status or state of the place. It was beyond disgusting. As with Naruto and the others, Naruto, Neji, and Anko made their way as they came across a booby trap house. Good thing Neji had his Byakugan and Naruto could, well, basically be a bit indestructible with his body. As they found a staircase leading down. While that was going on, Yasaka used her clones to go all over as she found something. Her Tenten and Kakashi made their way as they made their way down. It didn't take them too long as they arrived towards a strange scene. Something was going on in this town that no one knew about, as people had gone missing. As the mayor of the town didn't say anything first because it was just a few low-level bandits which was doing them more good than harm. Now, the mayor went missing as well as journals were left. As Kakashi noticed something, while they were on their mission, Hiruzen received message from the Toads. He thought that he was Jiraiya, so he waited for the man to arrive. However, Jiraiya arrived for a completely different reason. As Jiraiya had to summon Fukazaku, who else had contact with the Toads? The only person that had contact was Minato and Jiraiya, and seeing that Minato and Kushina was gone, despite their body never being found, they were dead. But it was then that Fukazaku told him that there was other ways of getting off the contract without being dead. Harrison proceeded to open the letter, and what he read shocked him. Jiraiya couldn't believe it either. Yasaka would not be pleased when she found out this was a reality, he thought to himself. So yeah guys, basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the play check for yourself, and what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Let's begin now guys. Kakashi and the girls made their way as they follow the trail of blood that led into the house. Yasaka looked down towards the blood. Looks like our killer was stumbling. Maybe he was hurt. This is far too much blood to have come from only the other guy injured. As they turned the corner, they were met with another body that was leaning against the building. It was a man that appeared to be in his 30s, dressed in a casual green yukata, with a kunai wound in his gut. Well, I guess that solved this mystery. After approaching him, Yasaka's attention was stolen by a very unusual ceiling array. Hey, he's covered in a ceiling array, she said. It flowed down the sides of his chest, onto his back. It went straight up to his face. Tenten was about to comment, but she was stopped from saying anything as Yasaka flipped the body and tear off the clothing. Yasaka, what the hell? Oh, get over it. I need to see the whole array to find out what it is. If you're that embarrassing, just think about it as a big puppet. Yasaka rolled a scroll to copy the array. A look on her face. I can already tell that this isn't normal, she said, as she narrowed her eyes at the line connecting seals. It looked like a maze of pathway flowing from the head to the body. There was also clusters of seals, placed at key areas. The head, the neck, the back, the shoulders, the elbow, the knees, the feet. As Tenten turned Kakashi as she worked, this guy looked like a civilian. How do you think that he was able to kill that shinobi back there? Kakashi glanced around the buildings. It could have happened a lot of ways, he said. The simplest answer is I can think. The shinobi underestimate what desperation does to people, and he paid the price for it. I don't know why he didn't just kill the civilian outright. However, I think we'll have an idea once Yasaka finished with those seals. Interesting, said Yasaka, speaking out. There is receptor seals all over the place, but there's no source to receive this signal from. Gather what you need. It's time that we go and meet up with the others, said Kakashi. Yes, please. I can't wait to get out of this creepy place, said Tenten. Later that night, the team was back at their base camp as they sat around a fire eating and talking about what they found. After they finished eating, well except for Yuako, Yasaka looked over the seals. He let a sigh as she heard what Naruto did. I should have known that explosion was your fault, she said. Hey, I think we handled it well. All things considered, neither of us got hurt too badly, and besides, we found that trapdoor, so I think that's a job well done. I think that Yuako and Lee had the most eventful experience today. Lee shivered at that thought. I think anyone would be shaken up after going into that mess, Yuako said. I didn't even see it, and it's already a nightmare to me. Brains in jars. Ew, said Tenten. After being completely silent through the whole thing, Yasaka threw her arms up. Screw this, she said. This damn thing doesn't make sense. Everyone jumped a bit and then turned towards her. The seals, they don't make any sense. They are perfectly drawn, and they look like they work fine, but the placement and flow is completely nonsensical. These line connecting seals are clearly for carrying chakra through the body, but they don't line up with the chakra pathways, which make it so much harder for them to work properly. Not only that, but a lot of the lines just stop without making it to the next cluster. As she growled angrily, these seal clusters are shitty too. There's a seal meant to receive a signal, and the other seal interpret it and send it down the correct pathways, except they don't because there's no correct signal for them to receive. It is so infuriating. I can tell this was made by a competent Funjutsu user, but there must be a purpose, but I just can't figure it out. As Kakashi wondered as he spoke up, could that not be the whole thing? He did seem to escape from his captors after all. Maybe they did not finish the sealing process. It's possible, but Given the size of this array, there's no more space to add anything else. I suppose you could do it if you were a seal master, but I can't fathom why a master would do something like this. As she crossed her arms in frustration as she glared at the paper. Just calm down, Yasaka, said Naruto. I'm sure that you'll figure it out eventually. As he placed a hand on her shoulder, however she turned and tried to bite him. Geez, said Naruto as he pulled back. She flew to her feet and grabbed onto him. Don't tell me to calm down. I don't want to be calm, I want to be angry and punch the guy that made the seal because it's making my goddamn head hurt. Okay, sorry. Be angry. But can you be angry at the seal and not me, said Naruto. He remembered making this mistake once before, when they were younger. As whenever she was in an angry state, her anger can be switched on to something else. Or someone else. When she was angry, she didn't need someone to help her. She needs someone to do damage control. It was cute when they were younger, but now it tended to get a bit overboard. It probably wasn't healthy, but then again, training at the age of 6 to be soldiers, they didn't have a good mental health in the first place. As she let go of him and sat back down and she crossed her arms and legs. As Naruto retreated to his seat, everyone decided to be wise and just let her be angry. However, Uncle always wanted to make things a little worse, in her own little way as she looked towards Naruto and gave him a smirk. As Naruto narrowed his eyes at her, she walked over and placed the arm on Yasaka's shoulder. Well, if you don't want to calm down, how about we think of a couple of things that can cause this guy pain? Uncle said the smirk, as she was whispering to Yasaka and looking at Naruto, as she gave him a little wink. As Naruto narrowed his eyes, Yasaka looked up towards him with a grin on her face. All of a sudden, Naruto felt like he was caught right between two predators and he was a prey. Time skip. While that was going on under the tiny village, the people that were responsible for all of what was going on was hard at work, preparing for something. As Shinobi that was dressed in hospital clothing looked down towards a metal table. The room that he was in was clearly meant for surgeries. He swallowed nervously as he looked over the tray of medical tools. When he studied medical ninjutsu and learned how to perform surgery, he never imagined that he would ever be conducting something like this. This would be his first time performing the procedure by himself. They had been dedicated to perfecting it since they arrived in Tiny Village, and they were finally ready to perform it for real since arriving in the village. He wondered why their leader was not doing it himself. He was a genius behind their work after all. Suddenly the door opened up. Their leader and his personal nurse walking in. He snapped to attention, sir. Everything is ready for the procedure. I am prepared to begin as soon as the subject arrived. His leader was a man in his 40s, pale skin from being in the lab most of the time. His eyes seemed to be constantly closed, a bald head, and he was wearing a hospital gown. He was also covered in the seals that he created, and strange tattoos also over his body as well. Your subject has arrived, the leader said. You will be performing the surgery on me. What? But sir, this new version has not been tested yet. You could die, and then our progress to come to a halt without you. I'm aware of that, but we simply don't have the luxury of taking our time anymore. The villagers had finally sent for shinobis to investigate the village. If this procedure succeeds, then victory over them is assured. If it fails, then all my work go down the drain in a way. Now begin the surgery. I don't believe I need to tell you what will happen to you if you should fail. The leader says he lied down on the table. He looked over at the nurse. Hikari, if I don't wake up an hour after the surgery is finished, kill everyone here and save my research. The woman known as Hikari bowed her head. Of course, sir, she said. The doctor swallowed thickly as a nurse. Take her place next to him. She was staring at him with cold, unfeeling brown eyes, her hair tucked up in her surgical cap. Well, doctor, she said, are you prepared to begin? He shivered at the empty tone in her voice. How their leader could be here with her, or be so close to her, without being creeped out, he could never understand. But there was no denying her skills as a nurse, and as the strongest fighter they have. He took a deep breath as he swallowed his fear. Gloves, he said. Time skip. Hours later, the doctor set down his tools as he looked down towards the leader's still body. Now for the moment of truth. This was where it went wrong for everyone else after they tried the surgery. All he had to do now was complete it. He reached down towards a seal on his leader's head and towards a black container on the nearby table. He channeled chakra through the seals and the container as both of them lit up with chakra, as it used him as a medium and traveled through him, as it went from the head going all the way down. After a few minutes he stopped, as he grabbed a stethoscope, as he listened for heartbeat. However, he found none. No, he whispered to himself, as he tried once again to get the seals working. He tried activating them again and again and again, searching for a pulse, a heartbeat in its leader, but there was none. Just as he was about to start again, he heard a metallic clang. As he slowly turned towards the nurse, she had picked up a scalpel as she was slowly walking towards him, her footsteps so quiet and empty. No, please, I can make it work. I just need more time. Please, he begged. The head doctor orders are absolute. I will carry them out to the best of my ability. Before he even had a chance to run or defend himself, she brought her hand up in a half-ram sign, making a seal on his chest appeared. He looked at it in fear for a few seconds until he stopped breathing. He just collapsed on the floor dead. She walked past the body as she walked over towards the table. I'm sorry, sir, she said. I'll make sure that your work is safe. She turned to walk away, until there was a gasp. The one's corpse on the table started to move around. She rushed over and helped him up. You're alive, sir, she said. I'm alive. He took in a few deep breaths, as breathing became a lot easier for him. As he looked at his body, like if he was moving for the first time, he then pushed Hikari away. As he got on his feet, he wobbled for a minute or two until he was on his feet. He started to laugh, a sick, twisted laughter that rebelled from his throat. As he walked out of the room, Hikari followed behind him with the black container. Everyone kept to themselves as he ranted. Impossible, insane, flawed. No one believed it could work. No one believed me. Well, I've done it. I'm immortal. Take that, Orochimaru. You second-rate failure. He turned as he snapped towards one of the guards, who was trying to avoid his gaze. You! Take the body in operating room 1 and take it to my lab, and all the other ones in the storage room. The guard nodded and hurried off, as the man chuckled to himself. Those shinobis will regret ever meddling in my business. Miuri the Immortal. Miuri the Immortal, he said. I love it. As he started to laugh insanely once again. Time skip. The members of Team 7 and 9 woke right at dawn, as they found their sensei and uncle talking. Morning, brats, uncle said. Ready to have some fun? Tintin groaned. I don't know if I can call this fun, but I'm ready to get this creepy mission over with. So what are you guys doing so early in the morning? Guy gave them a signature smile. We've been discussing a possible plan of attack, and we come up with a fairly good plan, but it could be very dangerous. We feel like it's almost guaranteed that they're waiting for us in that mess, and we will be attacked the moment we head into the village. Kakashi nodded. Yasaka, you'll be in a pretty dangerous position, so if you don't like this plan, we will come up with something else. Yasaka nodded confusedly. We have one extra genin on Team 7, but they don't know that. So we want you to wait until the fight can start, then slip past everyone and head into their base to deactivate the mist seal and see what you could find in their base. We won't know what's waiting in there, so we will understand if you don't want to go in on your own. Yasaka shook her head. I'll be fine. I'll have that seal deactivated in no time flat, she said, with a smirk. I'll also try to pay a visit to the guy that designed that damn seal from earlier, she said. Uncle grinned. That's my girl, she said. We also think that they're gonna try and separate us, and with that mess, it's gonna be pretty simple to do. So if we do end up in a situation where we all have to split up, then grab the person next to you and go together. If you find yourself in trouble, just run and try to survive until you find another group to link up with. If you manage to take out your enemies, then we will all meet up in the village square. Lastly, go into this assuming that they have a way of finding us in the mist no matter where we are. Do not assume that you're as blind as we are, she said. As everyone nodded, so with that the group, minus Yasaka, made their way into the village. As they made their way towards the orphanage and trapdoor, they strained their senses trying to find anything. However, Naruto's ear picked up something. He spun and threw a kick towards the attacker. "Company is here," he yelled, as Naruto's brutal kick slammed his attacker's chest, throwing the person back as he smashed right into a building, and all hell broke loose. Kunai and shurikens flew from everywhere. Guy's voice sounded over the group. "Just keep on guarding. They will run out of projectiles eventually, and then they will have to come to us. Gonna be hard to block these." A voice mocked through the mist as a few kunai struck the ground. A sizzling sound could be heard. Explosive tags. Hinata looked down as she widened her eyes. She reached and grabbed the arm of Neji. As she leaped away, Neji was right beside her. She did what Uncle said. The explosive tags went off, forcing everyone to split up. As Hinata and Neji took cover inside of a building. "Are you alright?" she asked. Neji nodded. "I'm fine." "Are you sure?" "There was some shrapnel flying from the explosion, and I pulled on you pretty hard." "I'm fine. Thank you for your concern," he said. There was a bit of venom that worked its way into his tone at the end. Hinata ignored it though as she nodded. "Alright. Then we best start finding our way back to the others." They both activate their byakugan, and strangely enough, there was only one person near them. It was a woman in her mid-20s dressed in a black kimono. As it pulled over her hand, going straight down towards her legs. Brown eyes and dark black hair. She stood in the street, staring in the building that they were in. "You see her too, right?" said Hinata. "I do. She's clearly an enemy, just not a smart one." Neji walked out. "Wait," Hinata said. Sadly, he did not listen, as she followed behind him, entering the street. The woman gave a bow. "Greeting, Konoha Shinobi," she said. "My name is Hikari, and I must say, based on what I know about Konoha clans, I did not expect a Hyuga to be the medic." Hinata's eyes narrowed. "How did you know as a group medic?" she asked. "You were in the center of the group. There's a small red cross on your pouch, and I detect the faint smell of medicinal herbs coming from your pouch." "You could smell the herbs on my pouch and see the cross from the mist?" The woman looked towards her with a tilt of the head. "My master has enhanced my body beyond a normal human limitation." "Wow, how original," said Hinata. If Hikari was hurt by Hinata's little banter, she did not show it. "Can we cease the pointless chatter, please?" said Neji. "I assume that you came after us to get rid of the group medic." She nodded. "Of course. It's basic strategy to eliminate the group healer first." As she pulled out a handful of senbons, "I will attempt to make it quick." Meanwhile, Yasaka crept through the business district as she sneaked her way through. As she was going towards the main location, she heard the explosions where the rest of the group was. But she had to focus, she had a job to do, just like they did. As she also knew that they would be alright. As she approached the orphanage, she started to feel people enter her sentry range. She made a single hand sign as her body blend into the mist. She activated seals on her sandals. Her footsteps were erased. There was no sound. As she crept up near to a pair of shinobi near the gate. As she listened to them as they talked. "You think they will win?" "Of course they will. Our entire group, minus us, and the boss are out there. They have a number advantage. Plus, with Hikari-sama out there as well." "Oh yeah, I forgot about her. No way they'll be able to kill her." "Right, and even if they do, it's not like they can kill the boss." "Yeah, that shit still give me the creeps," the other guy said. Yasaka narrowed her eyes as she talked. She hoped that the others would be alright, but for now she had to sneak into the base. As she moved over the wall, getting closer, she narrowed her eyes toward the two shinobis. Should she take them out? She didn't have to, but if things went bad inside, these guys could overwhelm her, especially the ones out here. As she counted a few more, she decided to take them all out before heading in. As she drew her blade, before she picked up a small rock. As she walked over to the wall and dropped it, one of the guards turned. "What was that?" he said. "Oh, calm down, this place is old as hell. It was probably just a piece of the wall falling off." "Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out, just to make sure," the other one said. He was just doing his job. However, he should have stayed where he was. Like a cobra, she moved and drove her blade right through his throat. He wasn't able to gurgle as she gripped his mouth tightly. His body dropped as she slowly withdrew her blade and moved. She snuck up behind the other guy and drove her blade right through his heart. Without wasting time, she rushed towards the next guards, who were about to come around the corner. Heads were taken off as Yasaka moved through the base. She took out all the people at the front. Once she was done, she was able to sneak in. Yasaka had no love of killing, which is why she always made them quick. Arriving into the dining hall, she found the trap door was already open. As she slowly made her way down there, it took her a few minutes to get down to the bottom. As she was about to start to explore, a voice came over the speaker. "Welcome to my humble home, Shinobi. If you would kindly dispel the camouflage jutsu. Unlike my associates outside, I can sense you. So it's pretty much useless." Yasaka frowned in annoyance as she deactivated her technique and glanced up towards one of the cameras. "Ah, much better. Now, Kunoichi, feel free to explore the facility as much as you like. However, you should know that what you're looking for is in my laboratory. You're being awfully helpful. I think you need someone to teach you how to set a proper trap," Yasaka said, crossing her arms. "Oh, it's no trap. I have no need to set a trap, you see. You can't kill me. So feel free to explore and then come to my lab so we can get this little dance and show over with. Just follow that main hallway all the way to the end and you'll arrive at my laboratory. Please, don't keep me waiting for too long," Kunoichi-san, he said, as he shut off the intercom. Her eyes twitched as she created a bunch of clones to explore all the other rooms. As she arrived at the end, finding herself in front of a large wooden door. As she waited for her clones to dispel, when they did, there was nothing interesting in the other room. She created a clone to open the door first, as she stood back. However, there was no traps, nothing at all. As the door easily swung open, the clone dispelled as she moved forward. As she was now in a large open room, with a high ceiling, really high. There were tables, at least 5 of them, pushed to the end of the room and the walls, with dead bodies with seals all over it. "Welcome, Kunoichi-san. My name is Miuri. Tell me what you think of my laboratory." The man spread his arms in a grand, welcoming gesture. He was wearing beige monk's robes. He also had the prayer beads. He was completely bald. He would have looked like a normal monk except for tattoos that looked like stitches going across his body. They wrapped around points on his body to make it look like they were stitched on. His arms, legs, ones on his neck as well. His eyes also seemed to be closed as well. Well, they appear to be. To be honest, I could give a damn about your lab. What I could give a crap about is finding the asset who designed the seals on that poor civilian. "Oh? Would you be referring to these?" he asks. He channeled a bit of chalk as the seal on his body became visible. "Yeah, those one. Who made those?" "Me," he said. "You," she asks. "Yes, me." "You asshole," she yelled. She shot at him like a bullet, forcing him to dodge as she swiped her blade at his throat. That goddamn thing gave me a migraine. My Uzumaki blood burned with a desire to see you suffer. "Whoa, calm down," he said, as he kept on dodging. "Never," she yelled. After a few minutes, she finally came to a stop as she leaped back. "Sorry, just had to get that one out." "Oh, it's no trouble," he said. I had the same reaction when I was trying to teach the others here the seals. Also, I must say, it's a pleasure to know that my seal array stumped at Uzumaki. Although, you wouldn't have get it because you did not have the whole seal array, he said. Yasaka raised an eyebrow and, "Oh? May I see the rest?" she asked. As he wagged his finger, "Sorry, not that easy. I figure," she said, as she lowered herself into her stance. He did not say anything as he did the same. Without any more word, they clashed. He threw kicks and punches as she clashed with her blade. As they fought, she realized that she was a better fighter here. Knowing that she had better things to do, she drove the blade right through his forehead. "Well, that was anticlimactic," she said. "Don't be so sure, Uzumaki-chan," he said. She grabbed her blade as she leaped away from him, her eyes widened in shock. As Miuri poked at the hole in his head, she brought her hands up. "Release! Release!" However, nothing changed. "This is no illusion, Uzumaki-chan. This is the result of my hard work, of my immortality." "You're lying. No one is really immortal," she said. A smirk came on Miuri's face. "Well, you aren't," he said, as he jumped towards her as he started to clash. Now she was on the defenses. He no longer cared that she was the stronger one. He was powering through every attack she sent his way, and he did not care how they hit or strike at him. He was laughing. Yasaka jumped away. She had enough as chains started to emerge from her sleeve. The chains grabbed him. She created clones as he was stabbed right through the heart, liver, lungs, every vital organ. However, he simply smiled at her. He tried to speak, but the wounds to his lungs and throat prevented it. "Alright, try this," she said as she slapped a sealing tag on his forehead before she kicked him away. She activated the tag as a bright, incinerating light emerged. The flame that followed was nothing normal. She had to take cover. Once it died down, his body had been burned to a crisp. "Seems like you couldn't take the heat," she said, with a smirk. Huh. Fantastic one-liner, however. I'm afraid that we're not done here. Yasaka turned towards a voice. One of the men on the table got up. His head was shaved similarly. His face looked similarly. Dressed in the same outfit, but his voice is a bit different. What the hell?" she said, looking at him. "What can I say, Uzumaki-chan? I'm immortal. Just not in the way that you were thinking. Now, how about we keep this going," Miuri said, with a smirk. Yasaka grit her teeth as she brandished her blade. While Yasaka was stuck in a morbid version of Groundhog Day, Naruto was stuck in a far less creepy situation, but just a bit more dangerous. He, Iwako, and Lee had stuck together, as they were now taking on 6 enemies right in the center square. As Naruto removed his jacket and shirt, as he sealed him with a seal on his wrists, his horns and spikes came out. He also grew some armor plates over his hands and forearms. The 3 of them were mostly unharmed, save for a few scratches and bruises on Lee and Iwako. As they stood back to back in their respective stances, their enemies shared a look, before all of them rushed at once. They were on the defensive as they blocked the attacks until Iwako dropped to the ground as she started to spin. Naruto and Lee jumped up as fire formed on her feet, pushing back all the enemies. As Naruto flashed down toward one of them, he grabbed him by the arm before he swinged him and threw him into his own comrade. As they crashed into another, Iwako leap. She brought her feet down as a wave of flames slammed into the both of them. As Lee rushed the nearest one to him and gave him several hard punches in the guts before he black leg kicked him right in the ear. Lee then flashed behind him as he spun and delivered a brutal roundhouse kick to his face. The guy smashed into the ground hard, leaving a gigantic crater. As Lee landed before he ducked, dodging a fist as he grabbed the hand and flipped it over his head, leaving the guy wide open as Naruto appeared and slammed his heel in the guy's chest. A cracking sound could be heard as the guy was thrown, as he hit the ground several times before crashing into the side of a building roughly. Another one rushed towards Naruto as Naruto grabbed his wrist, before he slammed an elbow right into his chest. He then kicked away his leg and yanked him with one hand. The guy was left straight up in the air as Naruto dropped him as Lee turned and slammed his heel in the guy's face, knocking him out cold. The last guy stood there as he was about to run, however, all 3 of them slammed their feet into his face, throwing him away. As Naruto looked around, is it just me, or does the bad guys underestimate us a lot? They do, said Iwako, though to be fair, we look like normal Genins. Well, most of us, she said, as she was directing that comment towards Naruto with his horns and spikes. Yes, Lee said, it is a very intimidating form. I wonder where everyone else is. As to answer his question, the others appear out of the mist. Nice work, you 3, said Kakashi. Have you run into anyone else? Iwako shook her head no. It was just us when we separated. That means that Neji, Hinata, and Tenten are still out there somewhere, said Guy. Present, said Tenten as she arrived. Uncle raised the eyebrow. You were alone. And you managed to take them out, she asked. It was nothing, said Tenten. Flashback. Why me, Tenten screamed as she ran. As she zigzagged through houses and yards, trying to outrun her pursuers. As she also countered with her own kunas and shurikens, but the fog was so thick she was not hitting anything. As she pulled a few kunas and dropped them before she moved. As she made a small hand signs, the explosive tag on it went off. She ran until she came to a building, a dead end. As she looked around afraid until she was surrounded from all sides. As Smoking Shinobi arrived, his body and clothing was a bit burned. We got you, he said. Tenten smirked though. Oh, did you? She said as she tossed a kunai. It sliced a wire. The shinobis found themselves bind instantly by ninja wires. it was attached to all of the weapons that she threw. "You're all caught in my little web," she said, with a smirk on her face as all of them were tied up. End of flashback. "I guess I just got lucky," said Tenten. That is when they felt the explosion of chakra came from a distance off, as they all turned towards it. Flashback. A few minutes earlier. "Stop it. It isn't working," said Hinata. She looked towards Neji. "We can't just stop fighting. There has to be some sort of trick or something to it," said Neji, as he watched Hikari shook off another Jayugen strike. This battle has been going on for a while now, and they quickly realized that she was immune to the Jayugen. They flipped away as she threw more Senbons towards them. After he landed, Neji rushed up towards her and started to attack. She either blocked or she dodged all of them, as he reached out to grab her. However, he grabbed onto her kimono, but when he pulled back, he was only holding onto her kimono. As Neji, he focused really hard. The upcoming battle would test his will, his control, and his Neji. "She's not naked." "What?" he said, looking up. And indeed, she was not naked. She was wearing a white onesie that was clung to her body, like skin. She was wearing metal gauntlets on her arms, and a chest piece with a blue and white yin-yang symbol. There were also black lines running down her body that seemed to glow slightly. Hinata narrowed her gaze. "What is that? And why do I have this bad feeling?" Hikari looked down. "Oh, this is the reason why your attacks don't faze me," she said. "With this armor, no chakra-based attacks will ever harm me. There are quite a few people interested in my master research. One of them happened to be a big fan of chakra armor in the Land of Snow." She shot forward as she attacked Neji. He tried to find some sort of weakness, a loophole on her armor, but he found none. Suddenly, she held her arm up, right in front of his chest as he prepared himself. He was not expecting a Senbon launcher to immediately eject from her arm though, as 3 Senbons slammed right into his chest roughly. Neji, Hinata screamed out, as Hikari slammed one more into his neck, as Neji crumbled to the ground. Hinata grit her teeth as she rushed forward. Hikari smirked as she waited for her. However, Hinata ducked under the blow and dropped a smoke bomb. Hinata quickly grabbed Neji and leaped off. Hikari had perfect eyesight and scent. Hinata looked around and she saw a perfume shop, so she dived inside. As she took him into the back of the store, she ran a diagnostic jutsu over him. He was just unconscious. He was fine. It's almost at a death-like state that Haku put Zabuza in. However, the Senmon's in a different location. He should come out of it if I remove it. She was about to remove the needle until a chair was thrown right through the window, forcing him to grab Neji. As Hikari walked in the store, Hinata dropped another smoke bomb as she rushed through the back door. As Hikari traced after her, Hinata kept on trying to get away, but Hikari kept on getting in her way. Once they were in the park, she placed Neji down as she got into her Jayugen stance. "Are you finally ready to stop running?" Hikari asked, as she dropped down in front of Hinata. "You know, you might actually get away if you left him. Tell you what, how about we make a deal?" "What kind of deal?" "It's quite simple. Having a Hyuga would be great to research. So it's simple. You let my master take him, and I'll call off the others to the rest of your group, and you guys can just leave. And no more of you have to die." "Do you really think I'm stupid enough to fall for that?" said Hinata. "Even if I was, I will never let you touch a single hair on anyone of my family or friend's head." Hikari cracked a tiny smile. "You say that like you have a choice. You know what? It's better just to kill you," said Hikari as she rushed forward. Hinata was locked on defensive as she tried to find a way to counteract the chakra armor. But her Jayugen was ineffective. However, she noticed one thing. Hinata ducked under her sweeping arm before she poked Hikari 3 spots in her arm. Hikari jumped back as her arm dropped to the side, now limp. "What did you do?" she yelled. "That armor is really thin. It's really only cloth with seals or something to stop chakra-based attacks. Of course it had to be thinner than real armor to hide under your kimono. But can it stop someone from, say, hitting you right in your pressure points?" Hikari eye twitched. "I see. I haven't thought of that." Hinata rushed forward. Instead of the Jayugen, she was using good old-fashioned punches and kicks. As Hikari jumped back, looking like she was quite out of it. "Giving up? No. I would have preferred not to use this, but I guess I have no other choice. Before Hinata could say anything, Hikari pressed her hand in the yin-yang symbol as it started to glow with chakra. Hinata had a bad feeling as she grabbed Neji and moved. However, all the chakra that was gathered in the armor expelled outwards. The violent shockwave exploded out. Hinata dived behind a thick slab of stone with Neji as she held onto him tightly. As she took the full weight of the impact when the rock behind her crumbled and threw them as she held on to Neji so he wouldn't get hurt. Once it was over, she groaned as she set Neji down. You got to be kidding me, she thought, as she heard footsteps. As she turned to see Hikari limping towards her. She was heavily injured, her armor was torn and battered. Whatever that ability was, it put her in a really bad state. We don't have to keep going. You can't beat me in that condition, said Hinata. I have to. I cannot allow myself to die until my master achieves his ambitions. Why? Why are you so devoted to this guy? Hikari stood there for a few seconds before she answered. Miyuri-sama was once an amazing doctor. He saved my life when I contracted an illness. Every other doctor told me I was living on borrowed time. I was a mercenary. So after he saved me, to repay him I decided to follow him and be his bodyguard. We helped many people. His research into immortality started as a way to help people to extend the human lifespan. However, he caught the attention of a man named Orochimaru. Hinata's eyes widened at the name. That bastard manipulated him, forced him to conduct inhumane research to achieve immortality for years until he went insane. Hikari finally started to show some emotions. I stayed hoping that I could help him return back to the man that he was. But that thing down in the lab is not Miyuri-sama anymore. He got what he wanted. And it's like, I don't even... She looked down towards the ground, not finishing her sentence. I guess I can understand about wanting to help someone go back to the way they were. As Hinata looked towards Neji, Hikari collapsed her knees. Hold on. There's still some questions need to be answered, Hinata said, as she ran a diagnostic jutsu on the woman. Damn it. Severe chakra exhaustion. I swear I wouldn't die until his goals became a reality, but I can't do it any longer. I killed my heart a long time ago to walk down this dark path with him. However, my body has finally given up on me. If I'm gonna die here, then promise me something. Promise me you will end him. Promise me you'll put him out of his misery. The man I once knew wouldn't want to exist like that. Hinata looked down towards her. I promise, she said. We'll bring an end to it. A small smile came on Hikari's face as she breathed her final breath. Hinata laid her down before she moved towards Neji. I know you hate me, she said, but I promise, I won't stop loving you. We're family. As she used her byakugan to find the needles and slowly extract them. A few minutes later, Neji stirred as he looked around. He spotted Hikari's body. What happened? She overloaded the armor. The feedback. It exploded outwards. It placed her body through tremendous stress, and she used up most of her chakra. Speaking of exhaustion, you might have trouble walking for the next few hours. That Senmon was pressing on a nerve cluster. She noticed Neji staring at her. What, she said? Nothing. We should regroup with the others. That is when they heard a voice. They're over here. Hey, are you two alright? It was the voice of Kakashi as everyone came in view. As Naruto walked over, you two look like you had a rough time, he said. You have no idea. Someone help me get Neji up so that we can meet with Yasaka. As Naruto helped Hinata help him up. So Neji, how exactly did you wind up needing Hinata to save her ass, said Naruto. Neji sent him a glare, Kaguya. I swear to Kami, he said. Meanwhile, Yasaka huffed as she tossed another scroll on the pile in the lab. She's been searching for the complete sealing array for a while now, but she just can't seem to find it. You might as well give up. I did not record the seal anywhere. It's all in my head. And then there was this asshole. He was in another body, her clone. Bind him with the chains, while the rest of the clones bind the remaining bodies to make sure there was no jumping between them. Well, I suppose I can just kill you until you run out of bodies. That wouldn't stop me. I'll still be alive. And with Hikari-chan by my side, I'll be in a new body in a few days. Fine then. Maybe I'll just load this place of the explosive tags and blow the entire place to hell. Oh, come on now, he said. There's no need to go ballistic on me, Uzumaki-chan. So there is something here, she said. She turned towards him. You've been completely uncaring of everything I've done. But when I threatened to destroy your lab, you suddenly start to care. Much to his credit, he did not flinch once. I have a lot of work in this lab, and I just don't want to start over, that is all. But if you really need to destroy it all to satisfy your curiosity, then go right ahead, he said. Alright then, she said, as she unsealed a scroll from her wrist. Several large canisters are inside, and few barrels. I keep this around just in case something needs to be set on fire. Something huge. As the clones open the canisters and start to pour the gasoline all over the room. As the scent started to fill the air, she noticed something. Wait. As she moved towards the center of the room, a trail of gasoline went down. Something was under this. She quickly created a genjutsu to dispel and seal. A rush of air came from the seal underneath. As another trapdoor was revealed. You clever bastard, she said. She used chains to rip the thing out of the ground. Inside there was a strange black container. However, the other things caught her attention. The first was a large seal, with the kanji from mist in the center, and then there was a large scroll. She sliced the mist seal in half, destroying it, before she turned towards the scroll, as she looked over the complete seal. So this is it, she said, as she saw the missing parts. But these seals, why would you need those? Unless you are blind. That actually makes sense with your closed eyes, she said, looking towards him. However, he simply remained silent. As she picked up the black container and opened it, looking inside. So, who would you steal this from, she said. However, he was still silent. Just as she was about to set it down, she noticed something. She almost missed it. The container wasn't actually black, it was actually dark grey. And there was more seals drawn into the sides and the top. Oh, what do we have here? The rest of the seal in array, I wonder, she asked. Her eyes widened as she checked over it. The man then started to smirk. Beautiful, isn't it, he asked. She walked towards him. As she noticed, the seals on his head, the markings, the tattoos, they were covered in actual stitches. Slice his head open, she said. Boss, you feeling okay? One of the clones asked. I'm fine. Just open it now, she said. The clone complied as he drew the blade and sliced the stitches. However, inside was empty. She looked back inside the container with the seals all over it. There was a human brain inside. You insane son of a bitch. It all makes sense now, she said. The receptor seals on the bodies. They were to receive signal from the brain, which is in this. That is why there was no connecting pathways, because you didn't have a brain in your head. All of it. It came from this, she said. And those seals over the eyes are not because you're blind. It's because your eyes don't work. As he started to laugh. Now you finally see the glory of my work. My eyesight went shortly after the operation. There are still some kinks to work out, but I've done it. I found the secret to eternal life. I know I just have to perfect it. Eternal. Your brain cannot spend eternal like this. It's amazing it lasts this long. I'm aware of that, Uzumaki-chan. Which is why I will continue my work, also. You must assist me. What? Why the hell would I ever help you? She asked him. Because you've seen the fruits of my labor. You can't tell me that it doesn't apply to you. It doesn't appeal to you in your greater search of knowledge of Fuinjutsu. Eternal. Undying life. As a fellow Fuinjutsu user, you must understand the gravities of what my seals have achieved. The two of us together can perfect this process. Why? Why the hell do you even want to be immortal anyway, she asked. To make him leave me be, he shouted, as his grin became wicked and strange. All I can remember is a hunt for immortality. All I can remember is a damn infuriating sounding over and over again. It's just like dissecting a frog. Come now, he's a criminal. What's the problem? The man started to talk to himself. Help me achieve immortality, and I'll make the pain end. More experiments. More and more bodies experiment on. His voice won't go away. It will not get out. It's clawing into my brain. I have to find the secret to immortality, to make it stop, to make him leave me be. He turned towards Yasaka, pleading, please help me. It has to stop, he yelled. She looked towards him with pity. Alright, she said, as she held her blade in her hand. I'll help you, she said. Excellent. Now the first thing that we need to do is Slice! She sliced the brain in the container in half, destroying it. The body slumped as all the others did not get back up. She nodded to her clones. They placed the explosive seals, and they poured the gasoline all over the place. As she walked out of the building, she sent a small pulse of chakra as the entire place went up in a grand massive explosion. As she walked out of the place completely, she looked up to the heavens. The mist was gone and the sun shined down on her. A smile came on her face. "Oh, I've missed you so much," she said to the sun, as it shined down on her. Yasaka, she heard. As she turned to see Naruto and the others, that brought a smile to her face, seeing that all of them was alright. As Naruto rushed towards her, her smile increased so much more, happy that this was finally done, as she was unaware that she was about to go back home, into nothing but chaos. There was some shocking news that she would find out once she and the group arrived back to Konoha, which would end up causing a lot. Yes, there was a lot of problem that would come the moment she stepped foot back in the village. However, it's good that she was having a sense of peace right now, because going back home would be bad. But guys, the episode right here. If you want the next person to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other series over on Anime King. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels, guys. 4 channels that I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and just destroy that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace guys.